You may ask yourself, why has it felt like every movie that came out in the past few years has been a remake, a sequel, or an adaptation for something you didn't want? Now, like me, you may wonder, where has all the originality gone? But thankfully, there is one production company still in our favor, and that company is A24. Beginning in 2012, A24 was founded by Daniel Katz, David Finkel, and John Hodges, who envisioned a new form of filmmaking for indie movies. They wanted to shift the focus to the films and the filmmakers themselves, allowing for distinct and emotional stories to be told in their perspective. Over their 10 years, they've produced over 120 movies, including over 150 TV shows. Now you may be asking yourself, where have I heard this production company name before? Trust me, you know a lot more of their films than you actually think. Some of the most popular releases this year you may not even know are from this production company, such as Bullet Train, Everything Everywhere All at Once, X, Marcel the Shell with Shoes On. In the past few years, they've had, Midsommar, Lady Bird, Moonlight, which is an Academy Award-winning movie. Uncut Gems. They have The Whale coming up with Brendan Fraser, America's Treasure. They are popping off, for lack of better words. So why are they so successful? Why can they create these movies that are so impactful and emotional and actually find their niche audience every single time? Well, there's a few reasons for that. Traveling back to 2012, some of their first releases were two indie movies, Ginger and Rose, and A Glimpse into the Mind of Charles Swan III, which is actually by Charlie Sheen. Very weird movie, not really well received. Luckily for them, later that year, in March 2012, Spring Breakers was released with a $31.7 million box office return for only a $5 million budget. Now these successes led to even more freedom, allowing, the Daniels, Bo Burnham, Greta Gerwig to make these beautiful, emotionally impactful movies that we see today, such as 8th Grade, Swiss Army Man, like I mentioned before, Everything Everywhere All at Once. Movies that are so original you don't even understand how they thought of it. It allowed them to dive deeper into bringing indie movies to the mainstream, which before 2012 we really didn't see that often. But actually one of the main reasons they're so successful today is the way they capitalized on their initial success, which they did in a few specific ways. They focused on the creatives. They allowed them to tell their story with little to no studio interference, something usually unheard of in these big production companies such as Warner Brothers and Disney. Next, every movie they took on was usually amateur driven and had a unique sense of humor and perspective that we've never seen before. And finally, their acceptance of these small indie budgets allowed them to create so much more of an influx, allowing them to have over 100 movies in just 10 years. It's the accessibility to the audience. Not only do you feel connected to your niche when you're watching that movie or looking at the crazy marketing they have, which I'll get into in a second, but if you're a screenwriter and you can write a movie for under 10 million and have an A or B tier actor connected to your script in some way, you pretty much have a movie from A24. Obviously there's a lot of steps along the way, but the nice thing is its availability and its, realistic expectations for itself. The final point I want to hit on is something that sets them the furthest apart from every other production company, and that is their marketing. They market in the most unique and meta ways possible, but this isn't even a new thing for A24. They've been using meta and interesting marketing tactics for the past 8 years. Back in 2015, when Ex Machina was coming out, they actually set up a Tinder profile for an AI that would match with people, invite them to her Instagram, which had the trailer for the movie, and then invite them to the premiere at Sundance, which is actually really smart because it focuses on some themes in the movie. So everything's kind of on brand with the movie itself. So you're not just advertising to people who aren't going to enjoy your movie. You really find your niche in that social media marketing. And for some of their other movies, like 8th Grade by Bo Burnham, allowed 8th graders to go see R-rated movies. And for The Witch, they actually created a Twitter account for the GOAT in the movie that gained thousands of followers. So when the movie came out, you have an instant audience. A24 has made their brand recognizable. When you go into one of their movies, you know what to expect, whether it's with the action, the story, the cinematography. We see these actors, directors, and writers proclaim A24 for its, ability to not just want a return on their investment. You're run by accountants and investors like a lot of the other big movie companies out there. And final, it's just refreshing to see a production company that really cares for its audience and the story being told. For the rest of Hollywood and the filmmaking industry, where everything feels so unattainable, this company somehow feels approachable. But that is all I have for you guys today. So if you haven't seen their films, go to the theaters, watch their films, support them, stream them, buy their DVDs. I probably have like my entire movie collection of A24 films, but we can go into that in another video if you guys are interested. I love these movies. I love movies in general. In the future, if you guys have any ideas for what you want me to talk about or go further into, just comment down below, and thanks for watching.